I'm going to tell you a story behind the massive scar I have on my chest right here. So if you want to see a little bit about what it looks like, that's kind of where it starts, and it goes down about 8 inches. Pretty long, pretty gruesome. But earlier this year, my wife and I were hosting a wedding shower on our back deck. And my role was the bellman, right? So I was out in the front of the house helping people get parked and ushering them into our house for a bunch of ladies. And so as I was doing this, I escorted this one lady inside, and she was a physician and her husband was a plastic surgeon. She actually knew a little bit of the story behind the scar on my chest, which is that I've gone through open heart surgery 2 times now. So most people will have a scar from that down their chest. But if you've gone through it twice, the scar gets a little bit bigger. So in a kind and generous spirit, this lady, looked at me, and she kind of pulled me aside and said, "Hey, I'd love for my husband to repair the scar on your chest, and he'd do it for free." And I was like, "Oh, wow. I'm going to have to decline you on that." And she was kind of a little bit taken aback because she was a physician herself, right? She was a little stunned. So she pressed me. She's like, "Why not? I mean, it wouldn't cost you anything. And he's incredible. He could make it look like you never even had surgery." Pushing the issue. So I said, "Well, I kind of need the scar for a couple of reasons." And she was a little confused. And I said, "Well, the first reason I need it is I'm pretty forgetful of what God has done for me. And he's spared my life 2 times now from open heart surgery. And the scar serves as a reminder of what he did in my life during those difficult seasons, toughest seasons of my life, right?" And she said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, secondly, too, when I'm at the neighborhood pool, or I'm swimming at my pool, or situations where I'm not wearing a shirt, the neighborhood kids come up to me and they say, 'What happened to you?' And what happened to your chest?" And they just have, no reservations about asking. And it's happened so many times to me. It's just a little opening, right? The door is just opening a little bit in the hearts of children. And it offers me an opportunity to tell my testimony of how God did take me through the valley of the shadow of death. And he did allow me to go through these 2 brutal open heart surgeries where there's a full-on sternotomy and your sternum bone is cut in half by a bone saw. And he spared my life both times. And so I don't see my scar like a plastic surgeon might see it, as a flaw, but instead I see it like an Ebenezer stone, right? Here I raise my Ebenezer. This is my testimony. It's a permanent reminder of the grace and mercy of God in my life. Hope that encourages you today.